Senator Padilla.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Noem. I'm Senator Alex Padilla, the senior senator for the state of California. Last June, you were in Los Angeles when you publicly declared that the mission of DHS in Los Angeles was to liberate the people, not just of Los Angeles, but the state of California from its duly elected leaders. The National Guard that was federalized and deployed into Los Angeles to assist DHS in this mission, that whole deployment was deemed unlawful, as I'm sure you are aware. Thankfully, those Guards members and the Marines who were also deployed to assist DHS in Los Angeles have also returned home and to their primary missions. Meanwhile, ICE and CBP are still conducting operations. My first question, the first of several yes or no questions, do you declare mission accomplished?
Senator Padilla, our mission is not accomplished until we get every single illegal criminal out of this country and protect American citizens, until we protect all of our children and these families behind me don't ever have to go through what they had to go through.
I'm trying to ask a question here.
Tonight, we break down a tense Senate hearing that quickly escalated into a high-stakes confrontation over immigration enforcement, election security, and federal authority. California Senator Alex Padilla and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem clash over IC operations, detention conditions, and a controversial question: could immigration agents ever be sent to polling places? What's political theater, and what actually matters here? Let's take a closer look. Senator Padilla questions Secretary Noem about DHS operations in Los Angeles, the federalization of the National Guard, and ongoing IC and CBP enforcement. He asks whether the mission is accomplished. Noem responds that the mission is not complete until every single illegal criminal is removed and American citizens are protected. Padilla shifts to reports that Trump advisor Steve Bannon suggested ICE should surround the polls, contrasting that with statements from DHS officials saying there are no plans to deploy ICE to polling stations. Noem answers that there are currently no plans, then counters by asking whether Padilla's party is planning on facilitating illegal voting.
Thank you. Trump advisor Steve Bannon, among others close to President Trump, has called for ICE agents to, quote, surround the polls, unquote. However, your acting ICE director, Todd Lyons, has said, quote, there's no reason for us to deploy to a polling facility, unquote. And just last week, your Deputy Assistant Secretary for Election Integrity, Heather Honey, told a bipartisan group of state election officers on a call that ICE would not be present at polling places. I know this question came up earlier, but I have two specifics. One, which is it? Do you, Secretary Noem, agree with Steve Bannon, or your acting ICE director and your Deputy Assistant Secretary?
There are no plans to have ICE officers at polling locations. I'm not certain, Senator, if you're indicating that your party's planning on facilitating illegal aliens voting in our elections.
So I respect that you're saying there's no current plans, but obviously plans can change. No plans is the right answer, but not definitive enough. Sending ICE agents to the polls to intimidate voters is illegal. Yeah. And so I want to ask you explicitly, if President Trump or Stephen Miller directed you to do it anyway, with or without a bogus national emergency declaration, would you say no?
Sir, there is no plans to send ICE officers to polling locations, and we're not planning on doing that. Are you planning on sending illegal aliens to vote?
No,
is that
that's
what
already
you're planning
illegal
to do?
And extremely rare.
But people have done it
now,
in the
it's
past,
amazing,
and
Mr.
that's
Chairman,
what,
that we even
have
to ask these questions, because just a couple of weeks ago, Secretary Noem, when you visited Arizona, claimed that DHS has authority over certain aspects of elections. So enlighten me here. What statutory authority are you referring to?
The Department of Homeland Security has mitigation responsibility over critical infrastructure, and our election system is defined by statute.
This moment is significant. Federal law already prohibits voter intimidation, and immigration enforcement at polling locations would almost certainly trigger immediate legal challenges. Historically, DHS has designated elections as critical infrastructure, meaning it can assist with cybersecurity and threat monitoring, but not administer elections. States control voting operations. Claims of widespread non-citizen voting have been repeatedly investigated over the years, and documented cases remain extremely rare relative to total ballots cast. So when this exchange pivots from "are there plans" to "are you planning illegal voting?" it shifts from oversight questioning to political framing. The bigger question for viewers: was this a legitimate clarification of authority or a rhetorical escalation designed for headlines? Padilla presses DHS authority over elections. Noem explains DHS has mitigation responsibility over critical infrastructure, including election systems. The discussion then turns to detention conditions. Padilla cites deaths in ICE custody and court rulings against DHS compliance. He references reports of poor facility conditions and judicial findings. Noem defends DHS detention standards, stating that federal standards are followed, medical care is provided, and families are kept together when possible. Padilla accuses DHS leadership of repeated court losses and noncompliance with judicial directives. Noem counters by accusing Padilla of ignoring victims of crimes committed by undocumented immigrants and defends enforcement priorities under President Trump. This exchange highlights the core divide shaping immigration politics in America today. One side emphasizes civil liberties, detention oversight, and constitutional compliance. The other stresses border security, crime prevention, and prioritizing citizens. It's also worth noting, court rulings against DHS do not automatically imply systemic collapse, but they do indicate ongoing legal friction over enforcement boundaries. Likewise, crime statistics and border seizure numbers often become political talking points, but they require context and independent verification to fully understand. What we're seeing here isn't just a clash of personalities, it's a clash of governing philosophies. How far should federal enforcement go? Where is the line between security and civil rights? And how much power should DHS wield when elections are involved? Those are the questions likely to shape upcoming policy debates and campaign messaging nationwide. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think this hearing provided clarity or deepened division? Was this effective oversight or political positioning? If you value balanced, fact-based breakdowns without the noise, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more informed analysis.